My mother-in-law cleaned out my dead mother's belongings, so I invited everyone to clean out hers. My helicopter mother-in-law was like a Category 5 hurricane who treated our boundaries like gentle suggestions. It kicked off 3 months after our wedding, when my mother-in-law started using her emergency key daily. I came home exhausted from work to find my living room completely rearranged with the couch facing the wall. Our wedding photos were gone and replaced with pictures of just her and her son. I found her in my kitchen throwing out my meal prep containers while humming. When I asked what she was doing, she said her baby needed proper nutrition, not lazy pre-made meals. My husband arrived to find me crying, and when I told him what happened, he said, "Mom's just trying to help, be understanding." 2 months later, I came home to find my mother-in-law had thrown a surprise intervention with 20 relatives in my living room. She'd created a PowerPoint presentation about my failures as a wife, including photos she'd secretly taken of our unmade bed and dishes in the sink. She made me sit in the center while she presented her evidence of my inadequacy to the family. Relatives took turns giving advice about submission and housekeeping, while she recorded everything for accountability. My husband sat silent until the end when he thanked his mother for caring enough to help fix our marriage. The constant judging was horrible, but tolerable since my married life was actually really nice. Everything changed the day I came home from work and saw her standing in my bedroom. You see, my mother had died 6 months earlier and left me her handwritten recipe cards, her jewelry box with our grandmother's ring, and photo albums from my childhood. These weren't just objects to me, they were the last physical pieces of my mother I could hold and touch and smell. But my mother-in-law, the first thing she said was, "Oh good, you're home. I finally threw away all that depressing clutter from your mother." My stomach dropped. What? She gestured at the empty closet. "I took everything to the dump this morning. You need to focus on your real family now instead of dwelling on the past." I collapsed on my bedroom floor, sobbing while she stood over me explaining, "See, this is exactly why I had to do it. I'm helping you heal." My husband came home and took her side again, saying she was just trying to help me heal and I was overreacting. That night I sat alone while my husband slept on the couch in protest. My eyes burned and my throat felt raw from crying. Neil was already texting me with nursery designs while I grieved my mother's memories in the garbage. Her purse sat on my dresser and I opened it with shaking hands, hoping for something, anything. Inside, her planner showed next week blocked off for a Bahamas cruise. My heart stopped and a plan formed itself inside my head. She wanted to help me declutter. Maybe I should do the same to her. I used her email to post an ad about an open house on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and everywhere else that came to mind. It literally said, "Come inside and take anything you want. This open house has first come, first served." I added her address and photos I'd taken at past dinners, showing her pristine furniture and decorations. Hours after she left for her cruise, I took my husband's emergency key for her house, went over in my car, and propped her door wide open. By 10 a.m., cars were lining up on the street. I just acted oblivious, like I was a security guard. People swarmed the house with boxes within minutes. A family took her antique dining set first, then the china cabinet she'd inherited from her father. Someone even rolled up her Persian rugs while another family dismantled her bedroom set. Within 3 hours, her house looked worse than ours had after she visited. Empty, violated, and stripped of memories. I simply locked up and left the key on the bare floor after everything was over. 5 days later, my husband's phone exploded with calls. His mother had finally returned home and was screaming about being robbed. We rushed over only to find police already there and investigating. Mill was pacing around her empty living room, gesturing wildly at the officers. "You don't understand. Everything's gone. They broke in and stole my whole life." The officers were taking notes when the neighbor popped his head in. "Oh, hey Marge, that open house was crazy. My wife even grabbed one of your lamps." My mother-in-law went rigid. "What open house?" The neighbor looked confused and then pulled up Facebook to show us and the officers MIL's post. There it was, right on her profile. "Open house today. Come take anything." She read her own words inviting strangers into her home, and her face went from red to white to gray. The police officer turned to her in anger and asked, "Is this an attempt at some insurance scam? Why did you call us when you knew this wasn't a robbery?" She stammered back, "I didn't post that. I would never." Her breathing turned to gasps. That's when she desperately clutched her chest, dropped to her knees, and passed out from shock. The paramedics said it was a panic attack, and although she tried suing everyone in court for her things back, she couldn't argue against her own word and lost dramatically.